Hi Weekend Crafter! I realized that I've been sharing some 50 videos here and I haven't even properly introduced myself. So let me do that while teaching you how to make monogrammed keychains out of polymer clay. I'm Ange and I love to craft. I stumbled into polymer clay crafting when I was in my teens because my aunt had gifted me with a Sculpey starter pack one Christmas. Since then, my style has evolved from doing random cute things to miniature food, and now to clay slabs. So for this keychain, I want to first start out with making a floral slab. You will need clay, a silicone mold of a flower and a leaf, flower-shaped cutters, a clay blade, and a detail needle. First off, let's clean our work surface. Polymer clay is a dust magnet and we really need to make sure that the place we're working on is very clean so that it doesn't attach to any dust or dirt particles. And then let's roll out our main slab into the number 4 setting. Likewise, let's roll out our flower colors into the number 6 setting on the roller. Going back to my clay journey, for a while, I hadn't been able to work on my hobbies because of my full-time job. But during the lockdown phase, I needed something to help me with my anxiety, so I opened my clay box once more and decided to document my experiments instead of focusing on selling my creations. I live in a country where pricing is very competitive, and I see a lot of clay artists selling their pieces for below the equivalent of about $5, with some going as low as even $1. And while I understand that some are just focused on making a living, I also realized that I needed to be happy with what I do. So instead of pouring my energies into making to sell, I instead decided to make videos that I can share to others who are just starting out and need a couple of ideas to begin with. So let's go back to the slab that we're making. Carefully punch out all the flower shapes first. Peel off the excess clay and place the shapes on the slab randomly. I used my clay blade here to lift the shapes so as to lessen the distortion. These are just some lessons you learn after spending a long time working on clay. Speaking of learnings, I've always had the teaching gene in me. A lot of my relatives are actually teachers, and I guess it's also spilled on to my craft. I've conducted a couple of clay classes before the pandemic, so I thought that YouTube would be a good way to reach out to other crafters from different parts of the world. When I began this journey, all I really knew how to do was make the slabs. I still had to learn how to edit, and thankfully, I have a very supportive spouse who has helped me tremendously in working with my videos every weekend. I guess that the biggest learning I've had with this channel was how to put myself out there. And speaking of putting myself out there, I'm happy to announce that Creative Fabrica has partnered with me to make a clay class specifically for them. The class is composed of 6 mini lessons from starting out your clay journey to making your first floral polymer clay slab. I am placing a link in the description so that you can discover where my class is at and explore the other classes in Creative Fabrica. Full disclosure, every time you enter the code, I earn a little bit to keep this channel going. So now that all our flowers have been laid out, add details through the use of a detail needle. This is where I take my time because I really want to make sure that all of the flowers are textured. In my classes at Creative Fabrica, I also share a lot of different methods that I use for texturing my clay. To make sure that I'm able to texture all the sides, I have to change the direction of the slab a couple of times to get all the petals scratched and detailed. If you've watched any of my videos, you will realize that I love working with colors and I love adding details to my slabs. With the class that I designed, you will get to see me teach you new color recipes as well. I also post a new clay color recipe every 4th week of the month. Then I used a ball tool to make an indent on all the flowers. This is where the center of the flower will go. I make a small ball from yellow clay and press it down each indent. And then I texture this as well. I bring out my leaf silicone mold and then I place these leaves on the spaces between the flowers. And for the final touch, I get out my flower silicone mold and press down some pearl white clay to make more tiny flowers. This will just help fill out the negative space. And there we have it, a floral slab for my keychain. For the keychain, you just need keychain findings, an alphabet cutter, and a circular cutter. So first, I want to make a very light indent with my circular cutter. I do this so that I can see the area that I am working with. Next, I punch my letter out, making sure that the letter is positioned nearer the bottom of the circle. Then I use my circular cutter again and punch the circle through. I carefully remove the punched letter and set it aside so that I can use it for another keychain. Then I get my blank slab and punch a circle. And then for the final touch, I punch a hole on top where my findings will go. I bake these using the instructions on the packaging. Next, bring out your jump ring and remember to open it from side to side so as not to deform the circle. And there you have it, monogrammed keychains that you can attach to your keys or to your bags. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't yet, do consider liking and subscribing to the Craft Time channel. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed learning something about me. If you haven't yet, do consider liking and subscribing to the Craft Time Studio. Thanks again, and have a crafty weekend. Bye!